Self-control is one of the most underrated forces behind success. It's not talent, intelligence, or luck that separates high achievers from everyone else. It's the ability to control emotions, delay gratification, and stay disciplined when motivation disappears. In 2026, when distractions are everywhere and instant rewards are the norm, emotional control has become a superpower. In this video, we'll explore the power of self-control and how mastering your emotions directly drives achievement, success, and long-term growth. Stay until the end, because one simple shift in thinking can dramatically improve your discipline. Self-control is one of the most underrated forces behind success. People often focus on skills, money, or opportunities, but ignore the internal discipline that determines whether those things are used effectively. In reality, emotional management is what separates long-term achievers from those who repeatedly self-sabotage. Self-control is the ability to pause before you react. At its core, self-control is the ability to pause between emotion and action. Most people react instantly to what they feel. Anger leads to arguments. Stress leads to quitting. Excitement leads to impulsive decisions. This reaction-based living creates instability in almost every area of life. High achievers operate differently. They create space between emotion and response. That pause allows logic to enter the decision-making process. Instead of reacting emotionally, they evaluate outcomes. This small internal gap is often the difference between progress and regret. Emotional discipline shapes financial outcomes. Money is one of the clearest areas where self-control becomes visible. Many financial failures are not caused by lack of income, but by lack of emotional discipline. Impulse spending, panic selling, emotional investing, and lifestyle inflation all come from poor emotional regulation. People often know what they should do financially, but emotions override logic in the moment. Those who build wealth tend to develop restraint. They delay gratification, avoid emotional financial decisions, and stick to long-term strategies even when short-term pressure is high. Over time, this emotional stability compounds into financial stability. Self-control builds consistency, and consistency builds success. Success is rarely the result of one big decision. It is the result of small actions repeated consistently over time. However, consistency is impossible without self-control. Most people start strong but lose momentum when motivation fades. They stop when results are slow, when stress increases, or when distractions become more attractive. Self-control is what keeps action going even when motivation disappears. This is why disciplined individuals often outperform more talented but inconsistent individuals. Talent creates potential, but self-control turns potential into results. Emotional management protects long-term thinking. One of the biggest dangers to success is short-term emotional thinking. When people are stressed, excited, or frustrated, they tend to make decisions that solve immediate discomfort rather than long-term problems. Self-control helps shift thinking from emotional reactions to strategic planning. Instead of asking what feels good right now, disciplined individuals ask what helps my future self the most. This long-term mindset is essential in areas like business, investing, skill building, and personal development. Every major achievement requires the ability to endure short-term discomfort for long-term reward. Self-control reduces self-sabotage. Many people do not fail because of external limitations. They fail because they sabotage their own progress. This often happens through procrastination, distraction, overthinking, or giving up too early. These behaviors are usually emotional responses, not logical decisions. Stress leads to avoidance, boredom leads to distraction, and fear leads to hesitation. Self-control interrupts these patterns. It allows individuals to act based on goals rather than feelings. The more self-control a person develops, the less they are controlled by temporary emotional states. Discipline over motivation. Motivation is temporary. It comes and goes depending on mood, environment, and circumstances. Self-control, however, is stable. Relying on motivation alone is unreliable because it is emotional in nature. Self-control replaces this dependency with structure and habit. Instead of waiting to feel ready, disciplined individuals act regardless of emotional state. Over time, this creates momentum, and momentum becomes results. This is why self-control is often considered more important than motivation in achieving long-term goals. Emotional stability improves decision quality. High-quality decisions require emotional clarity. When emotions are unstable, thinking becomes distorted. People overestimate risks, underestimate opportunities, or make rushed choices. Self-control stabilizes emotional fluctuations, allowing decisions to be made with clarity rather than pressure. In business, relationships, health, and finance, better decisions consistently lead to better outcomes. Emotional control directly improves the quality of those decisions. Self-control is trainable, not fixed. A common misconception is that self-control is something you either have or you don't. In reality, it is a skill that can be developed over time. It starts with small actions, delaying impulses, following routines, resisting distractions, and sticking to commitments. Each time a person chooses discipline over impulse, the ability strengthens. Like a muscle, self-control grows through repetition. The more it is practiced, the stronger it becomes. Self-control is not about suppressing emotions, it is about managing them effectively. Emotions will always exist, but they do not need to control behavior. The ability to pause, think, and choose the right response is one of the strongest predictors of success in any field. Whether in finances, career, relationships, or personal growth, emotional management determines long-term outcomes. In a world full of distractions and instant gratification, self-control has become a rare advantage. Those who develop it gain not just discipline, but direction. Because in the end, achievement is not only about what you know or what you have, it is about how well you can control yourself when it matters most. At the core of every achievement is emotional discipline. The ability to pause, think, and act wisely instead of reacting emotionally is what builds consistency and long-term success. If you can master your emotions, you can master your decisions, and your decisions shape your entire life. If you found this video valuable, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more content on mindset, success, and personal growth. Comment below which emotion you struggle to control the most.